Happy new comic book day, everyone. Hopefully, everybody got their books that they're wanting to get today. Hopefully, you guys are home safe from your travels if you traveled far from home to get all of your books. Welcome to Chatting with the Comic Community, episode 61. That's right, guys. If you guys missed it, I had Inja Binja on last week, had a fantastic conversation with her. And my guest today is someone sort of like Inja in the fact that he doesn't do a lot of content, but he shows up on a lot of people's channels. Like, he's been on Spine Ticks quite a few times, and he's always over on Tony Sanders' The Hunt. He's also a fellow Canadian who has his own shop and also does pressing and cleaning if you are in Canada and you are looking for a presser and cleaner. But we'll get all to that. Without further ado, let me bring out my guest, Bleeker.
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Pretty good. I did have a clip there. I don't know why it didn't show. There we go. Welcome. Thanks for joining me today, Bleeker. It's always a pleasure talking to you. I've been on stream with you a few times over on Spine Ticks and, of course, Tony Sanders' The Hunt. But I'm super pumped to be talking to you one-on-one.
Yeah, same, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So for the viewers at home that don't know a lot about you, give them a little rundown of who you are.
Man, that's a hard question, man. I'm Bleeker Street Comics on YouTube. You've seen me in the chats and whatnot. My name's Jason. I've got a tiny little shop here. I just started out. It's at the flea market in St. Catharines. I do a lot of comic book pressing and cleaning. I do that for the local comic shops here. I love comics. I like TV. I like cartoons. I'm just sort of a nerd like everybody else.
That's awesome. So let's get right to it. How did you get into comic collecting / reading?
Oddly enough, it was my big sister. She came over one day and she had some comics for me and my brother. She had them behind her back, made us pick a hand each. And we picked out a couple of comics each, and it was pretty awesome.
So do you remember which comics those were?
I remember the title of the comic. I don't remember the exact comic. I'm actually still currently looking for it. I think I'll remember it if I see it. It's a two Star Wars comics I got when I was a kid. I think I was 8 years old, maybe 7. I don't know, something like that. And I got 2 Star Wars comics. I think my brother got some G.I. Joe comics. I believe they were G.I. Joe ones. From there, I started loving comics, my man.
So you got that Star Wars comic, and did you go out and get more Star Wars comics, or did you kind of like spread it out and get some Marvel, some DC, or?
I come from a super heavy Christian background. So my parents would not let me collect anything like that. I wasn't allowed to really watch TV or collect comic books or cool toys or whatnot. I had a stash, and I did, there was wrestling dolls and stuff like that. But I didn't really get to collect too much when I was really young.
So when did you fully get invested into like collecting comics?
Comics have been sort of a slow burn for a while now. Like I said, I loved comics when I was young. I had a few of them. I liked watching all the cartoons when I was a kid a lot. So that was probably where it all started. And then probably around 17 or 18, I was living on my own at the time. And I just started, buying stuff that I wasn't allowed to have when I was a kid, all that stuff that you couldn't get.
So what came first? Because I know you're a toy collector too, and you can see it behind you. What came first, the comics or the toys?
The toys. Toys came first for me, especially recently, because I got out of collecting, probably like everybody else does. When they hit a certain age, I got interested in girls and drinking and hanging out and partying and whatnot. And comics went by the wayside, and back into it in the last few years, probably 2018 or so. And it's been pretty awesome. But toys, definitely, I've always been collecting toys the entire time. I think they're, especially Star Wars toys, they're my favorite. Again, wasn't allowed to have too many toys when I was a kid, and you can see I've fulfilled that behind me on my shelf.
So over the years, have you picked up anything that like you like seen as like in a commercial as a kid that you were like, I absolutely need that, and now that you fulfilled that?
Oh yeah, 100%. They're up top. I have some older Star Wars stuff. Let me just grab that Millennium Falcon.
Oh, the Millennium Falcon.
So yeah, we had to pick up that guy because he's he's from my childhood. He still works. He's pretty awesome. I have the box for him and everything. So yeah, stuff like that is probably pick up from when I'm a kid, but I don't
So,
see it often.
so is that the original that came out way back when?
Oh yeah, that's the original. I have the original box as well for it. Obviously in Canada we've got French on it as well, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, so you got that Canadian price to.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. It's the variant Millennium Falcon.
So you were not allowed to collect a lot of things growing up, but then you got into it and you just went all full out for it. And you
Absolutely.
mentioned Star Wars quite a bit, like 'cause Star Wars was the first comic, and you collect everything Star Wars. So when did Star Wars come into your life? Was it that comic, or was it the toys, or was it the
It
movies?
was the movies actually. I was probably 6 years old when I saw Star Wars in the theater. Um, maybe five even. Um, and of course, it was all over TV. The toys, the commercials. It was a really big deal when I was a kid, especially that age. I don't quite remember it, but remember loving Star Wars. I remember loving Darth Vader. The first scene when he walks onto the ship, that was just amazing to me. So, it's been a love affair ever since, I think.
So did you seen the first one in the theater?
I did in 1983. Okay, I saw them before this, but I don't remember it. But in 1983, they played Star Wars and Empire Strikes back to back in a theater in Toronto, and I got to see them both live in the theater there. So it was pretty awesome. And of course, Return of the Jedi I saw in the theater because I was a little older at the time.
That is awesome. So like I know that there's tons of comics out there and books and that. Did you keep up with a lot of those throughout the years?
Sadly, no, I did not keep up with a lot of those throughout the years. I did read like books, the actual books from Star Wars, but not too many. Mostly, I guess I would say the good ones by reputable authors like Timothy Zahn wrote a trilogy that was amazing for Star Wars. Kept up with that. I actually am really hoping that I thought that they would go into that story when they did the new movies, but apparently not. So we'll see what happens because it is a great trilogy. It's about after the Death Star and Luke and the twins and Leia and all that stuff. So it would be a pretty awesome trilogy to see. I'm sure every Star Wars fan that's watching would agree with me.
They still might do that. I know that they're moving away from like I think after this Obi-Wan show, they're gonna move on to doing stuff that doesn't revolve around the Skywalkers.
Yeah. That would be wow. Admiral Thrawn, like his name was just mentioned in Mandalorian, and that one book just shot up to high heaven, right? So people really they're onto it. They do love the characters, and they did love the trilogy. But we'll see what Disney does.
Yeah, and at this point, I feel like I know that they said like things aren't canon. Like there's certain things that aren't canon in that, but I feel like whatever they want to take from the books or whatever, it's like it's all free reign. Everything is canon once they take a hold of it.
That's what I'm noticing too. They can basically, and that's why every comic book guy, especially Star Wars fans that didn't keep up with it, are clamoring for all the Dark Horse Star Wars right now as much as they can find because Disney can at any minute just take a Cad Bane or take a any kind of character they want and use them. So all the first appearances would be in that in those runs there.
Now, are you currently reading Star Wars right now, like in the comic form?
I collect a lot of books that I don't read because I'm a collector. I mostly read independent stuff right now. I find, I'm not finding anything super interesting in the superhero world. I do like Radiant Black. That's pretty cool. It's very superhero like, but it's it's I don't know, it's different. So I enjoy that. I like Red Room a lot. Things like that more interest me just because of the artwork. Probably, I was a big fan of Robert Crumb, that '70s underground sort of artwork is it really turns my crank. So it's pretty cool. I'm glad they came out with that book. I like some of the Black Label DC stuff. I was reading American Vampires until that ended. That was pretty cool. I collect a lot more than I read. Like every collector, I'm sure we still collect our Batmans and our Spider-Mans and just the main staples. I even collect Action Comics, and I haven't read Action Comics well, that's not true. I read the War Worlds, and it was really awesome. I really enjoyed that series, but as far as Action Comics and Superman goes, it's it hasn't been interesting for a long time.
Yeah, I agree. Like I'm more into the indies now. There is some Batman stories I still read, like Batman Beyond the White Knight. Like that's been a favorite of mine, like for reading. Um, but you mentioned Radiant Black. Are you reading Radiant Red and Rogue Sun, the ones that are connected to it?
I have them, but I haven't read them yet. It's been a minute since I picked up my pull list. It's probably been about a month since I picked up my pull list, maybe a month and a bit. So I have to get down there pretty quickly before he yells at me. He's pretty good with me though. My pull list is massive, so I should be all right.
Yeah, it's different. Instead of like you have Radiant Red, and it's following like the villain and why this character is doing what she's doing. Then Rogue Sun is just like an inherent, like he's taken the mantle from his father.
That's very
And
interesting, though. That's an interesting way to go about it, to follow the villain in one story and follow the hero in another, I guess.
yeah, and you can really connect with the villain and why that, I don't want to say he or she, but like why they are doing what they're doing.
Yeah, no, well, villains they still have to have interesting backstories so you feel for the villain, right? You still have to have some sort of, hey man, there's a reason why this guy is this way. Like Doom, god damn, that guy's got an amazing backstory. If you're gonna, like they should have done a Doom movie 1,000 years ago already. Just a straight up Doom movie. If you want to start the Fantastic Four franchise, start it with Doom. Do his whole backstory. It's awesome. He's he's, I don't know, he's sympathetic. He's a sympathetic character, a lot like, I don't know, Mr. Freeze from Batman. He's a very sympathetic character. There's a reason that he does everything. So I think that they should hop on that train instead of what they're doing these days.
Yeah, I agree. You don't, the villain has to be like they came out with like a kind of documentary type of thing. It says necessary evil.
Okay, yeah.
And that it was like based on all of like, it was based mostly on like the villains from DC, but like how they have to be a little charismatic, a little like, to them the villain, they're the hero in their head. Like
Absolutely.
Lex Luthor, he
Yeah,
thinks he is a hero.
he's saving humanity from an alien, man. That's his whole gig, right? And is he wrong? Who knows? I've given it a lot of thought. Would I, if Superman existed, would I prefer that there was a god killer bullet in existence? Fucking right, I would. I want that. I want that bullet made too. I guess me and Lex have a lot in common.
Yeah, or you and Batman. Batman had a way to kill all of the Justice League if they turned evil.
And he should, and so he should. I was like, when they all got pissed at him, I was like, what do you mean? This is the smartest thing ever. Guy is wicked, and he's even got one for himself. So relax. It's not like he
Yeah,
just,
like he didn't leave himself out.
right. He's all right. You guys are all right.
So you did mention like cartoons, and
Yeah.
that you absolutely. I know your thoughts on He-Man. I know you're absolutely love. We won't get into it, but like, did you like watch every single episode when that aired?
Yes, the original He-Man, absolutely. It was awesome. I used to come home from school to watch it, hide it from my parents. That and GI Joe, it was on back to back, and it was also on Saturday mornings as well. I think I can't remember if like Saturday mornings were like new episodes, and during the week it was just sort of reruns. But it was awesome. It was those were definitely great cartoons. And when I got back into collecting, obviously those were the things you gravitate towards, right? Nostalgia is a powerful drug, as they say.
So, is there any other cartoons that you absolutely loved back then?
Oh yeah, Thundercats. I liked Astro Boy a lot. Uh, Battle of the Planets was really awesome. Um, Jeez, there's too many. There's so many. It's hard to even a Star Avengers. If you remember that, it's another sort of like that Americanized anime that they had in the '80s. All that stuff was amazing, man. Great stories, great art. It was just cool. It was really cool growing up in the '80s, and we had better TV than you guys did now, and it was they, it was just better. I've watched I don't know what is it, channel 25 or all the cartoon channels. It was never like that when we were kids. We just had there was a few channels and you went and you picked what you liked and it was awesome, man.
So you said you picked up like a lot of like the nostalgia, like so it's not just Star Wars. You're picking up like GI Joe figures. I know you just picked up Castle Grayskull, didn't you?
Yes, yeah, I picked up Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain. Sadly, I didn't buy it for myself, even though I really wish I could keep it. My goal is to have a real comic book shop at some point in time. Bleeker Street Comics and Oddities will probably be closer to the name as opposed to just Bleeker Street Comics. Cosplay, out of masks, toys, things that we all love. Maybe even a bit of an arcade. Who knows?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So that's sort of the goal. Toys for myself that I've picked up. I haven't really bought too much for myself lately. I did just pick up. Oh, I don't know where I put him. Oh, there he is. I did just pick up this guy. Woohoo! So that's Brutus the Barber Beefcake, the old rubber doll from when I was a kid, and he's awesome. And obviously, if you see me on the hunt, I go by the alias of Bleeker the Barber Beefcake. So that's me.
So since we're on the topic like of wrestling and that, did you grow up with loving wrestling?
Yes, yeah, I did until a certain age. I haven't watched wrestling in years at this point. Um, I really liked the Hulk Hogan era. Undertaker was amazing. I think he got better with age. When like I have watched wrestling since, and he is a lot cooler. He was a little more hokey back when I was a kid, with his gloves and what was it? His manager. Oh, here comes the Undertaker. Yeah, it was a little hokey, but that's all right. Yeah, Brutus the Barber. I think yeah, Bret the Hitman Hart was probably one of my favorites. I really liked Shawn Michaels as well. You know, yeah, wrestling was awesome when I was a kid.
So when did you fall out of it?
Uh, Probably right after Shawn Michaels, uh, maybe even a little before that, probably. Uh, yeah, that's about the time. I was probably 20 years old. Again, you fell out of comics. I wasn't watching a lot of TV at the time. I was living on my own. I haven't had the luxury of having a great life, but I've had an interesting life, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I understand completely. And with wrestling for me, it's like it wasn't like I didn't like sit down and watch it like constantly, but like we like to play the video games and we like the characters, like the entrances and that, but never really got right into it and then kind of fell off of it like in 98, maybe 99.
Yeah, it was honestly. I think it was probably its biggest at like the WWF, WWE was probably the biggest when I was young. I think it started dropping off probably for around your age, to be honest. Like it's sort of in its decline. It might I don't know if it's still picking back up, but it feels like it's in its decline. You don't really hear too much about it that much anymore. There's no Hulk Hogan's in the world of wrestling anymore. I guess The Rock was maybe the last one.
Maybe John Cena.
Yeah, John Cena, he did an awesome job in Peacemaker. God damn, he was great. I hope DC continues with what they're doing because I think they're having a banner year for DC. Maybe not a Marvel banner year, but they're having a banner year for DC.
Yeah, well, there is going to be a Peacemaker 2, and I know he wants to continue. I know that there's going to be an Amanda Waller TV show.
Okay, all right. She is a stone cold like person, man.
Yeah, I don't think James Gunn is tied to that at all. Because, like, this is Amanda Waller. This is, like, way back in, like, BVS days. Like, that's the same Amanda Waller that's been playing the actress. The actress
Yeah,
is, like, she's the same throughout those movies, even in Peacemaker.
yeah.
And I know somebody came in, I think, and like cut a lot of it things like productions and stuff that are going to happen, and it's like coming in like a Kevin Feige type, and
That'd
he's
be
going to be
interesting.
like, you know what, we're cutting this, we can't make this, you know what, we're not going to make this. They like cut the Wonder Twins project, which kind of
Really,
makes
eh?
sense in a way. Like, why not do some Wonder Twins are cool, but like, why make a whole movie about them? Why not make a whole movie about another characters that you could possibly do
They
wonders
will
with?
act. Well, they will actually make money. Uh,
Yeah,
I don't honestly. I can't see a Wonder Twins movie, live action movie. I don't know. I don't see it. I have Wonder Twins' first appearance in comics because I'm a nostalgic person, but I don't know. I can't see a live action being awesome, especially with DC. I just don't have a lot of faith in DC's live action movies at this point.
yeah. I did like the second Suicide Squad movie though.
Was
That
it?
one was good.
Yeah, the one that just came out with John Cena, and I thought it was great. That's where I think they're starting to do very well. That movie, Peacemaker, was really good. Um, I was, I don't know, I'm half and half on the new Batman that just came out. I did love the Joker that Scorsese did. I thought that was fucking amazing. But you know, we'll see where they go. It's very,
Yeah,
it's very all over the place right now. They really should pick one world and stick with it.
yeah. They. I know that they're like there's going to be troubles with like the Flash coming out now with Ezra. But Aquaman, I like the first one, so I'm pumped for the second one. But then you have that whole issue with that one person, we won't mention
Yeah,
her name.
yeah, yeah. We won't.
Um,
I
but
wouldn't want
like,
to anyway. I wouldn't want to give her the time of day, to be honest.
yeah. So, uh, I don't know. Like, I think DC can come back from it. I just don't think. I think they should just worry about doing something right instead of competing with Marvel.
I 100% agree with you. Those are the words that DC needs to hear. You just need to do something right instead of trying to compete with another company. Um, yeah, they're those Marvel movies. They're billion. That's $1 billion, billions and billions of dollar franchise. Just take a little piece of that pie. You could be pretty happy. You can still feed the family on a $900 million.
So, have you been keeping up with a lot of the Marvel movies and TV shows?
Yeah, yeah, they've been great. I've enjoyed most of them. I can't really complain about any as far as production value goes. I wasn't a huge fan of Moon Knight, but I don't have to be a fan of everything. I didn't hate it, if that makes any sense. Like it just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I wanted more Moon Knight with my Moon Knight, and I got a lot more Mark Spector than I was expecting. And but whatever, it was cool. Kids love him, man. In my shop, fucking kids are all like, "You got any Moon Knight? Got any Moon Knight? Got any Moon Knight?" So kids are in love with them, and speculators are in love with them. So that helps me out, I guess.
Yeah, which that's good then. Like, even with this Miss Marvel, like, I know it's not going to be a show for me, and I
Yeah,
know some guy that got like early access was explaining that he watched it and it wasn't, it was good, but it wasn't for him. It was
I-
still good, it was still well done, but it just wasn't for him.
and that's
I
fair. That's
it,
fair, man. It's for his kids anyway. Let's
yeah,
be honest. Miss Marvel's created for what 10, not even a few years back, 2014 or something like that. I can't even when she was created, but it's recent. She's for young children. She's not for us. You know, they're gonna kill all our characters off, but that's okay. It's still that's well, whatever. I don't even want to get into what Marvel's doing as a company, but Miss Marvel is not for us, and that's fine. She-Hulk, I'm not sure if that's going to be for me, but it looks like it's going to be a fun watch.
Oh man, that's totally for me.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's I'm looking at that. I'm just like She-Hulk. Yeah, and plus like I love Cat. Like that actress. I love her. Like she was in Orphan Black, and she's Canadian as well, and
Right.
she's like a wicked actress, man. Um, she was playing like 6 characters at one point, like 6 on one TV show that was Orphan Black. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, no, she's cool, man. Absolutely. I don't have a problem with any of the actors or actresses, and I won't have a problem with the production value either. Well, except for that weird CGI that we saw that got changed pretty quick. But, I'm sure it's going to be fine. Marvel's done a great job so far. You swing and they've hit a lot more home runs than they've struck out. So
And I think what the issue is it's oversaturation too. Because
yeah, of
like
course.
we are getting a lot of it, like to the point where like we were getting one movie a year. Now we're getting at least 3, and then all of these TV shows. So not every TV show and every movie is going to hit home for everybody. So
Exactly. But they still do super awesome. I actually haven't seen Doctor Strange yet. Bad comic book guy, but that's okay. I heard it is doing what $1 billion in strong, so they're obviously winning.
yeah. So did you see the Thor trailer? The
I did see the Thor trailer. Yeah, it looks all right. Everybody is up in arms about Gore, or the one picture of Gore that they saw. I saw a few pictures of Gore. I didn't mind the way he looked. Obviously, he wasn't comic book accurate, but it's okay. I don't really, it's I don't know. If he was comic book accurate, he'd look a lot like Voldemort anyway. So, do we need to see that again?
Voldemort or uh, what's that guy's name?
The Pirates of the Caribbean guy. He
Oh
looked
yeah,
like
that too. I
too.
didn't even think about that either. Ebony Maw.
Oh yeah.
He
That's
looked a lot like him as well. I know I was talking with somebody about that.
and I don't know. It's Christian Bale. He is a great actor, so I'm sure he's going to do an awesome job. He wanted to play this. It's hard to get somebody like that to play a superhero movie, so he's obviously interested in the story. Um, the comics are amazing, and if you have ever watched on YouTube, I don't know the guy who does it, but there is a Gore the God Butcher comic motion picture on YouTube, and it's absolutely phenomenal, man. It's not it's not moving. It's just the comic book, and the guy reads it, but he does it voice. And it's got music. It's got thunder and lightning crashing. It's really good. I enjoyed it. So if you want your comic book accurate Gore movie, go watch that, and leave the rest of us go watch this Marvel movie.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Like I seen the trailer and I was like, yeah, I'm pumped. Especially like the cinematography, like of how apparently like he sucks the world away from him, like and it goes all gray and stuff. I love that like scene. You
Yeah,
can see the
it's
light
wicked.
of some of it and then the darkness. Like you get that Frank Miller type of vibe.
Is it going to be about that though? Because I have a feeling that we're getting bait and switch. I have a feeling it's going to be mostly about Jane Foster, to be honest. I really like. You can see where Marvel's going, and it's fine what they're doing. I like a lot of the girl superheroes; they're fantastic. Um, but I feel like we're going to get the old bait and switch, and it's going to be a lot more about Jane Foster. I hope we get the Gore story, but I don't think this movie's Gore the God Butcher, man. We might get Gore in there for a minute, but I think we're going to be waiting for an actual Gore the God Butcher, God killer God story. I just don't know if this is going to be the movie that we get that in. It certainly doesn't sound like it by the title.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, just saying.
Yeah. It could be like he could be talking like whenever it's like you have a lot more like you're fighting for something. Like we all think he's talking to Thor at that point, but he could be talking to her.
He really could, yeah. So there could be a lot of things they do with this. The There's so much speculation. Everybody wants their comic books to be worth so much money, or to know which comic book is next to buy so they can do flip and sell and get more books. I do the same thing. We're all guilty of it in this. Well, maybe some people aren't. There are purists. I don't know if I've met any, but I've heard of them online. They yell at me all the time. Dirty flipper.
Yeah, no, that's a good theory on like how it could.
I have a yeah, man. You just never know. I really think it's going to be about Jane Foster. Because to be honest, that's a really good story. She does have a good story. The whole cancer thing, the whole sorry spoilers if you haven't read the comics, um, having the power of Thor. She I don't know. It's a good story because it's heartfelt and it's got some real feeling. She really does give up a lot. I don't know. It's very good. So that might be where they take the direction of Thor. I like Chris Hemsworth isn't going to play him forever. He's done a lot of movies. I'm sure he wants to do other things at this point in his career. He's still a young, handsome motherfucker.
Actually, that's a good point. Did he like? I know, like he signed on to do movies. Do we know how many movies he has left to do?
I don't. That's like a newbie question or a FaceTime question. I don't keep track of that shit. I should. I probably should, but usually I can tell the way the market goes by what people come in to buy and what their kid's favorite comic is now.
That's a good point, though. Like thinking about it, like she is probably going to be the one that steps forward and becomes the new Thor because,
100%.
and I know people are like saying like, oh, Valkyrie's gonna die. Valkyrie's gonna die.
I think Valkyrie has another movie in her, man. I think Valkyrie with Jane Foster as Thor have a movie in them. I think that's a whole movie, maybe a whole girl ensemble. I really, it's we've seen it, man. It's happening, whether you like it or not. It happens, and
Yeah,
they're
I
gonna
think
change it.
I think they're just worried because like in the trailer you see her fighting Gore with Zeus's lightning bolt, which that gives us a clear, definite. Either Zeus gave her that, or he's dead.
And yeah, my question is, why is she fighting Gore? She wasn't even in the goddamn story. But that's all right. You see, like they've already changed it. So you know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's already being changed a bit. So it's not gonna be accurate anyway. So everybody just enjoy the story that they're gonna give you and see if you like it. Yeah. And I don't know. I get wanting comic accurate stuff, but why don't you just see if you like it first?
And during that fight scene, we didn't see Jane Foster, but she has to be there. That there has to be a reason why she's not shown.
Yeah, there's something going on. It's gonna happen. I did like almost all the Thor. I think all of the Thor movies. I thought they were really good. I like Thor as a character, always have. I just got some old Thor books myself, some old 35 centers. I'm just sort of trying to slowly pick away at a Thor collection. Because just I've liked them since I was a kid. I like the way he talks. I like the whole shebang about him. It's pretty cool.
I did like the first Thor movie. Did not
Yeah,
like the second one. But when
yeah, yeah.
Taka
The second was okay.
Waititi came in, and yeah, like I love him as a director for Thor.
But the third Thor movie, that was awesome, man, with the Hulk and everything. That was great, funny, really great, fantastic, good story. I didn't like the actress so much that played his sister. It seemed like she was trying too hard, but regardless, she's still a good actress, and the movie was awesome to me.
So moving on from Marvel and that, like there's been a ton of Star Wars stuff come out. Like we've had Mandalorian, we've had Boba Fett, we've had Bad Batch, we've had Obi-Wan that just came out, Kenobi.
Yeah, yeah.
And we can go spoilers because this is coming out a while from now, and a lot of the shows will be out by then. What are you think? Like, what are your overall thoughts on Obi-Wan so far?
Okay, so I haven't actually seen Obi-Wan yet.
Okay.
I will see it very shortly, but that's okay. Everything else that Star Wars is doing, some of it's for me, some of it's not for me. I'm very happy with The Mandalorian. I was moderately happy with Boba Fett just because, like, let's be honest, they stroked my Star Wars dick. They're like, "Hey, here's here's what you've always wanted to see. Oh my god, fan service. Let me give you a blowjob." Yeah, it was awesome. But
And
other
what
than
fan
that,
does not want to get service, man?
right, that's all I'm saying. But other than that, it wasn't. I wouldn't call it the best of the best. Um, Boba Fett sort of lost some mystery. Boba Fett lost his power, so to speak. We wanted Godfather in space. We got My Little Pony in space. Wasn't that great? So, but that being said, I still enjoyed watching it because again, I'm a Star Wars fan, man. I still enjoy stuff. I can be objective. I can not like something but enjoy it. Just there's certain things I didn't like about it. The space guys on bikes with all the lights on their heads. I don't know. It seemed like a should have been a scene in I don't know something else, not Star Wars. I think they should have had weird coffee cups from Starbucks or something. It was a weird scene. So, that didn't belong in Star Wars. But other than that, it was okay. It was a pretty good show. Mandalorian's been fantastic. I can't wait for that. Boba Fett, no. The movies, the three movies that came out, I thought were okay. I liked the first movie because it was basically Star Wars, and I liked Star Wars. So why wouldn't I like this new Star Wars? It's exactly the same movie. I can forgive them for that. The second movie was meh. I felt like I don't know, I didn't like it. And the third movie, I didn't know what the hell was going on. Thank God I read the comics, so I know that the Emperor is alive and blah, blah. If I didn't read the comics, I would not know what was happening in that movie. So I don't know how anybody else that isn't a super duper hardcore Star Wars fan would have been able to follow it. Besides being, oh my God, the Emperor's alive, which is silly. You can't, like, they didn't even allude. Anyway, they didn't even get there. How did they put that together through all three of those movies? It doesn't even make any sense to me, but that's okay. Um, I liked Ray. I liked the actresses. I liked her as a main character. I thought she was really good. I didn't mind. Again, she's a girl and she played that character awesome. I enjoyed her acting. Finn, I was hoping to get more out of him. It was like I don't know what happened. It was like he was going to be a big part of the story, but then he wasn't so much. It was just,
I was hoping he would be like shown more of like force sensitivity.
yeah, something of that nature. Maybe him become the actual bad guy to go up against Ray. I don't know, something of that nature. Like there's something cool, but we didn't get that. But that's all right. It's not my movie, man. They can write it however they want. What else has gone on? Oh, Solo. I didn't mind Solo. I thought it was pretty good. One of my favorite Star Wars movies to date, out of all the whole entire franchise, is probably Rogue One. I think it's an amazing movie, man. I loved it. There were some silly things in it, but overall, I absolutely loved that movie. I liked
And
all the characters.
it's funny too because like that movie, like the one plot hole everybody like says back, like, well, really, why would they make it that small? Like, or why would they like add that? And this movie like explains why they added that.
There we go, right? They had to fix the plot hole, Jesus.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that movie is probably one of the best out of the whole franchise. I hope they do more of those, although I think they're probably on hold now because Solo didn't do very well. But like, I want them to do Lando Calrissian. I'd love to see I loved Lando in the movie. I thought he was awesome. The guy that played Lando was fantastic. I was like, yes, this is Lando. He's great. I loved his all the capes in his closet. That was fucking hilarious. It was fantastic. They did some very good things. They did some shitty things. I prefer to look at the good things. I liked Han Solo winning his ship back or winning his ship. The whole card game. I wanted to see that. I've always wanted to see that. We saw it. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, I absolutely loved it. And you had like Emile Clark in it as well,
Yeah.
and she's like
Yeah.
said to come back as well.
Is she coming
In
back?
I don't know, like I don't know if it's like people theorize, like speculating on that, like hoping she does come back or she's actually coming back.
I
I know
hope
that
so.
they have some plans for her.
Well, she's a part of Darth Maul, right? So that's a big deal for people. People love Darth Maul, man. Darth Maul didn't get enough screen time. Nobody knows enough about him, like in the series. But Star Wars fans know about him, and they want Darth Maul. That would be an amazing thing.
Yeah, see, for me, like Darth Maul was like pretty cool. As a kid, like I was pushed on to like watch Star Wars as a kid, like when I was like maybe like 5,
Right.
but didn't really connect with me until like episode 1 came out. That's what really solidified it for me and made me a fan of Star Wars. So Darth Maul is definitely a huge part for me.
And that's why, even though I don't particularly appreciate those 3 movies as much as I should, I can learn to appreciate them. Those movies got a whole generation of younger people involved in Star Wars that maybe didn't want the quote unquote darker Star Wars that we got in the 70s and 80s. They got Jar Jar Binks, and they got exactly what got them hooked on Star Wars, Jar Jar, and all these great characters, and it was for kids, and they loved it, and that's what happens, man. It's not like they don't know what they're doing.
And then we got no Jar Jar after that. They didn't know what to do with him after that.
Yeah, people hated him so much. They did do a guy did a reshoot of the film on YouTube and took out all the Jar Jar scenes. I think he might have left one Jar Jar scene in the entire movie, and it was awesome. It was like it was great actually. He just took out all Jar Jar, and it was like, man, this is a great movie.
So even in episode 1, like
Yeah, that's the one he did it in. He took out all of Jar Jar.
How can you like? Did he put something else in? Because like
No,
they're leading him to that the underwater scene.
He just cut differently, so you never ever saw Jar Jar.
Okay,
Yeah, it was amazing. It was pretty good.
that's different. I'm gonna have to like try to find that now.
You should. You should. I wouldn't doubt that they probably have taken it down because Disney sues everybody, but they sue the smallest person, man. They're pretty hardcore about their content.
Yeah, I think I just got something. Oh, Disney just sued me for you saying that.
Right? I'm like, I said Disney shit. Fuck. Let's do this again.
So like I know that there's a lot of coming out. Like I know the Bad Batch is next is coming out, and then we have Mandalorian's not coming out for another while.
Oh,
There
we got 2 episodes of Mandalorian in Boba Fett, I think. So
yeah,
we're
that's
all
true.
right. We're all right.
They'll tide us over. That's what they were like. We're just gonna throw this in here because you guys aren't getting Mandalorian for a while. So
That's
this will
it.
tide you over.
That's it.
We heard that you guys were complaining about Boba Fett, so just here.
Here's a little Mandalorian. Keep it cool, guys.
I know that there was something else like reported, and like I think Taika Waititi was like connected to like a Star Wars type project coming up, but I forget what it was. Like I just glimpsed at it right quick, and then I meant to go back.
They're doing Ahsoka, I think, aren't they? Like they're doing Star Wars has got a whole lineup. I think I just saw it too. It was a big timeline of Star Wars basically, and it showed where you should put all the stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. But there's some new ones on there that hadn't come out yet, and I'm like, oh, interesting. So they have some plans in the works. I think first they should really, I don't know, the leader of the Star Wars nation there, that the lady. Maybe they should just stop letting her touch Star Wars. That would be okay with me. You know who you are. You know who you are.
So are you excited for Ahsoka?
Yeah, absolutely. Great character. And the actress is wicked, man. I like what is it,
Rosario Dawson.
Yeah. She's awesome. She's always been good. Yeah, she was awesome in The Rundown. She's awesome in that damn Kevin Smith movie.
Clerks 2. She was in Men in Black 2. She was in Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah, she's been great, and she's and she was also in Marv and all those guys. That cartoon, the comic movie. Can't remember. It was awesome though. Anyway, and yeah, she's been great. So I hope she reprises that role, and I think she was awesome. And I think with her, well, we did in her episode, we did get to hear the words Emperor Thrawn. So hopefully they'll be exploring that more there.
Yeah. So we'll definitely get to see that more in that. And that's like where we brought it back to like earlier what we were saying, like they're gonna grab anything that they want, any storyline that they want that seems good, and
Yeah,
they'll make them money.
100%.
And so and if fans want it, they're gonna get it.
100%, 100%. But don't put it past Disney to just start writing an entire new, like they've been doing, the collection that I still collect it, but I shouldn't. Star Wars New Republic or whatever. They're putting new characters in that shit every week, man, because you know, they're trying to get away from that. I don't know if they'll be able to though, because Star Wars fans are really, really picky. So hopefully they keep appeasing us and bringing us Cad Banes and other characters like that, because that guy was awesome, man. I'm pretty sure he's not dead. If they killed him, they were stupid.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
would be. They would be like he should, since like Mandalorian is connected to like Boba Fett and that same like they're overlapping storylines. Um, they
Cad
could like
Bane.
show him in an episode.
He's a wicked bad guy. He's a wicked bad guy. And he kicked the shit out of Boba Fett. Boba Fett got lucky. Let's be honest. And that's why, again, Boba Fett's like his his mystique got destroyed in that show. But Cad Bane, he was awesome, man. They really need to. And again, it brings us back to you need villains. You need good villains. You can't keep making all your villains into good guys. Uh, and that's what they want to seem to do. They want to like make their villains good guys. And I'm like, just you need bad guys, people. Bad guys need to be bad guys. It's important.
That is true. That is definitely true because like yeah, Boba Fett isn't considered a bad guy anymore. Like a ruthless bounty hunter. He's working with the Mandalorian who like the Mandalorians are becoming slowly become closer to the Jedi, which they were always at odds as well. So now you have them working together.
Yeah, yeah. Which so yeah, Boba Fett lost Mystique again. He shouldn't. He should be more bad, more powerful. Again, more of a badass in space, Godfather in space is what we want, and we didn't get that.
Didn't get that. So you watching anything besides all this Marvel and DC and Star Wars type of shows?
I just started watching Dirty Black Bag. It's a cowboy show on AMC. It's interesting. It's not your father's Western, is how they. It's got the guy that was in Preacher, the guy that played Jesse in Preacher is in it. So I like him as an actor. I liked him in Preacher. I thought that show was amazing. So, and obviously I watch all like the boys. I think are coming up pretty soon. I'm pretty sure that's coming out quickly. I love Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol is probably one of my all-time favorite comic book shows ever on television. Not because of the filming, not because of the acting, but it's just so comic booky. It's one of my. It's like, oh yeah, man, I'm watching a comic book. It's great. Oh, it's wacky. It's fantastic. The other stuff is getting a little serious, right? But that's fun. Yeah, I watch a lot of TV, man, but not a lot because there's not a lot of good stuff. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I always tell people this. Like I've been telling people this for a while. Like watch Severance. Severance was fantastic. I know Phil's
I've
watching
heard.
it too.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that.
Um, I'm trying to think. I just finished Stranger Things. Stranger Things was fantastic this season.
Okay.
I'm pumped for the next one. Like a lot of revelations in this season, especially that ending scene. And man, does it like the visual on this like it's just fantastic all around. Like I loved every like that's why I binged it. I binged it in like all 7 episodes, and they're like an hour and 20 minutes long an episode.
Wow, is the show ending?
I'm not sure. I think so. Like I think they're coming out in parts. Like there's going to be a second part in June, and then there's going to be 2 episodes in July or something like that. I don't know.
Sounds like it's a last season thing. They usually start making episodes longer and seasons shorter as they go.
Yeah, so I'm super excited for it. Like I know you'll enjoy this season. I think. Are you up on Stranger Things?
I'm not yet. I've watched the first 5 episodes of the first season. That's it. I wasn't. It wasn't that I didn't like it. I just think I was watching other things at the time that were of more interest to me, and I never got around to it. Stranger Things is on my list of things to watch, though.
Oh yeah, it definitely does get good like throughout it, and like if you are like no D&D, you'll like connect with it even more because they do talk like use the lingo of D&D, call their like characters like they're the evil beasts characters from like the D&D games.
Cool, cool. Yeah, D&D. I never played D&D per se, but I did play the equivalent, but like Heroes. So it was like a superheroes version of D&D, and that was pretty fun.
Right on. Yeah, no, Stranger Things has been fantastic. I'm trying to think of what other shows that I've been watching that are like might be up your alley. I know.
I watch a whole range of different stuff, though. I actually prefer. Right now, I'm stuck on, I don't know, documentaries, serial killers, and documentaries and stuff like that too. So like, I'm not just into comic books, and I have a wide range of enjoyments as far as TV goes. It's just nice that we're finally getting good comic book shows like The Boys, like Umbrella Academy, things like that. It's nice
That's
that,
coming back too.
and I can't wait to see that. That was pretty stellar the last season. I actually just rewatched it again, so pretty happy to see that coming back.
There's also another show. It's like it's not comic book related, but it's like it's a little different. It makes you question like is it real or not? Like it's called Evil,
Okay.
and it does like the only thing it has like that's connected with a comic book is that Mike Coulter's in it, who played Power Man, but he's playing a priest in this.
Okay.
And so there's the priest hires like a psychologist to come in, and like they determine like the psychologist and the priest are like, okay, well, is this person just crazy or are they um, possessed? So like you have like the scientific mind and then you have the priest there too, and they're always talking and trying to figure it out. And like halfway through the show, you're like, okay, nothing supernatural is happening, but then it starts to actually hit, and you see the supernatural stuff actually happening in it, and you're like, okay. So you're not sure if like it's narrated that you're like seeing what this person is seeing,
Mm-hmm.
or it's actually happening.
Okay. All
And
right.
it makes you question things, and it's a fantastic series. I know it's coming back for its fourth season, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen some things there. Yeah, I've seen some things, buddy. So I've seen some things that'll make you question your whole existence, man.
And I don't know if like I forget his name, but he was in Lost and he was in Person of Interest. His name's Mike too. He played like he played the um, protagonist in Lost. He was the guy with the glasses.
Okay. I never watched Lost, but I watched like 3 or 4 episodes. It was good. I just never. I was partying pretty heavy at the time.
Yeah, that was like
Those,
back
those
back
were
in
the
like third.
days.
Yeah, that was like mid 2000s, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was like, I think the 90s and the early 2000s are pretty much a big blur for me. A very fun blur. I had a good time. I just wasn't
Keeping
doing
up
on
with TV.
keeping up with collecting and television and too much that went on. I thank God COVID happened. I got to watch a lot of stuff that I missed.
Yeah, man. That's same. Well, we're coming up to that hour mark. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me on this amazing, amazing new comic book day. Um, I know that you don't do a lot on your own YouTube channel. You're gonna actually start. I know that you're planning on coming out with more and more content, but you show up sometimes on Spine Ticks, and then you show up a lot of the time on Tony Sanders' The Hunt.
Yeah,
And like I said earlier, you do run your own shop every Sundays.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, the shop is doing really well. If you check us out on Instagram, you can see what we buy there. Like you can see all the stuff that I don't like to put a lot of for sale on my Instagram. I don't want to use it like that. I think it's I don't know, it's just boring. But if you do see something you like, give me a shout, man. I don't want to push anything on anybody. You see something you like, you want to give me a talk, let me figure something out for you. We're pretty easy there. Um, yeah, I don't. I my content. I'm not sure. Like I want to do YouTube content. I just want to do something different. You've got your chatting with the community. Newbie's got his spec. The Hunt's got, well, probably, let's be honest, the most entertaining YouTube channel ever. Like, it's just super entertaining. You're the Mountie on the Hunt, and you're awesome. That's a great character. You do a good job. Um, yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I want to do something a little different. Maybe do something with the shop every Sunday. Do like a half hour kind of community, what people are buying, what people are into, that kind of thing. Just chat with people that come in the shop about local news and stuff like that. We'll see what happens.
And you also do pressing and cleaning. Like you do provide that service as well.
Yeah, we're very good at it. Well, I am very good at it. I've been a local presser now for 2 years. I do both local comic shops here in St. Catharines. So I do all their books. I do my own books, obviously, and I have got a lot of clients now. They're coming in, which is great. Honestly, my presses are always running. I think I'm pressing 3 books right now. I've got another. There's another 15 or 20 there right now. So the presses are always running. I haven't had any complaints to date, so the people are pretty happy. Most grades are good. Yeah, pressing and cleaning is awesome, man. It's really nice to provide that. I provide it pretty cheap, and it's really nice to be able to work on some of those books, to be honest.
And what's the best way to like get like you will do shipping for some of the books at your shop if like people see
Oh,
something they like and that like
absolutely.
because I know you go live every Sunday and what time do you usually go live?
It very. I try to go around 10 o'clock, 10:30 usually. I didn't do it this Sunday
And
because I was
that's
busy.
Eastern, right?
Yes, that's Eastern. I tried to do that around that time. It just started to be fun for me to do it. But yeah, fuck yeah, it's awesome. I want to do something like that and provide it on the YouTube channel as well. So I think it'll be fun. Again, I enjoy being a part of the community. It's really awesome. Um, it's nice to meet everybody and be like, honestly, none of my real friends like here that are close to it, none of them read comic books. So they all, they all drink and that's pretty much it and hang out. They party. It's cool, but they don't like to do geeky things like I do. So it's nice to be part of that community that enjoys that along with me.
So the best way to get a hold of you is through Instagram and that if you
Instagram.
want pressing and cleaning, if you want to check out the shop.
Yeah, Instagram's your best way as far as pressing and cleaning goes. If you live far away, your best bet is to ship a bunch of books at the same. Like, don't ship me one book; it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. When I ship priority shipping. Usually costs $15 in Ontario. Anyway, anywhere I've shipped, it's about $15 for a comic, and that's like one comic to. I think I just shipped out 5 comics. It was 20. It was $15. So, not too bad. I would ship out a bunch. Like if you got 10 or something, is probably your best bet. That way, you're not killing yourself on shipping. Make sure your comics are worth at least a couple $100 a piece when they're all said and done, or make sure they're comics that you absolutely love.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So like yeah, so do we plan to see you back on the Hunt anytime soon?
Oh
I know
yeah.
this is a couple of months away, but like we'll see you like there on a regular, right?
Oh yeah. I'll be as regular as I can be. I try to be as regular as I can be. I won't be there this week, I don't think, but the week after, I will be coming back to claim my belt from Tylocks, the fucking mustache. I'm gonna have to get that back from him.
And Nick the Demon, the first night that they came on and they got their title, like
Yeah. Have to.
I was impressed and I wanted to give them a hand, but then I was like, I just came on 5 times and I'm just getting my title now.
I know. They just jumped the line like mofos, man. Unbelievable. So, I hope the crowd that's seeing this comes out, checks us out, does that. I think that'll be in, like not this one, but the 2 weeks after that. I will be on Spine Ticks this Saturday night, sir. So
This will be airing like quite a way away from like that spine
ah,
tick. So you'll be coming on a couple month ago.
okay, perfect. I will be on Spine Ticks pretty soon. I like to hop on there. I like Sith a lot. He's a pretty good dude. I'm always in the chat. I try to be in the chat for your shows. I go to Lass Ketchum's channel, Newbie's channel. I do the Comic Kingpins when I can. There's really a plethora of people. You can only say I try to support everybody. I can't get to everybody's channel, but oh yeah, New World Order Comics, Biggie Shack. I've been on his show. It's been awesome. He does the Comic Collectors Club, and not gonna lie, man, whoo-wee, these guys got bangers, like crazy bangers. It's just again, it's an honor to be just on the panel with some of these people. Great collectors. I'm nowhere near that advanced in my collecting. Again, I started recently again. I had a few, I don't know, probably about 6 short boxes of my own that I've collected over the years, and then I really have a lot of comics now. Jesus, it's gotten out of control. TM, it's gotten out of control, buddy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, the link to your Instagram, YouTube, and also the link to Spine Ticks and Tony Sanders shows down below, because those are some of the places that you'll be able to find Bleeker, especially on his Instagram and YouTube. And if you want any pressing and cleaning done, or any of the comics that you see that are on his weekly show that he does on Instagram, hit him up on Instagram and shoot him a message. He will 9 times out of 10 like instantly reply.
Yeah, I try, and we don't mind making deals, man. I usually have my comics priced the way they're supposed to be, but I don't mind making deals with people.
It's awesome. So I thank you so much for sitting down with me in this hour. It's been a pleasure, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, brother. I really appreciate it. It has been a pleasure. I love your show. I like the chatting with the community, and I'm really happy to be a part of it. So thank you.
That's awesome. All right, everybody, we're going to get up on out of here. Station Snoochie Boochies. And as always, my friends, stay nerdy.